Welcome to this video from the ESL Ministry at First Baptist Orlando. Today's lesson is how to pronounce the ED at the end of verbs. The past simple tense and past participle of all verbs ends in ED. For example, the verb work, the past tense is worked, and the past participle is worked as well. Same thing for the verb play. Past tense is played, and past participle is played. The question is, how do we pronounce the ED endings? If you noticed on these two, they were pronounced two different ways. So the answer is, there are three different ways to pronounce this ED ending. As you can see here, the first one is what we call an id ending, represented by the I and the D. There's also a T sound that can happen at the end of these words, as well as a D sound. We'll go into more specifics in a second. For the id sound, or the ID sound, if the base verb ends in one of these sounds, a T or a D as you see on the left, you pronounce the ED at the end as an id, which adds an extra syllable. So in the example here for want, when you add the ED, it becomes wanted. Notice it is now two syllables. Another example is the base verb end. When you have the past tense as ended, once again, adding the extra syllable. So, in summary, the ID or id sound is heard at the end if the verb ends in a T sound or a D sound. If the base verb ends in one of the following sounds, that produces a T sound. They also can call it the unvoiced. What do we mean by that? So an unvoiced sound is one that you do not feel vibration in your throat. So if you put your finger up against your throat and do the P sound, you'll notice that there's no vibration occurring on your finger. You can do the same thing for all the rest of these sounds. S, sh, ch, k. Notice that none of those vibrated in your throat. Therefore, they're all going to take the T sound at the end. Notice that they also don't add an extra syllable. Let's go through some of the examples. The example base verb up top is hope. And notice in the past tense, it is hoped. Hopefully you can hear that T at the end. Notice, once again, there's no extra syllable. Let's look at the second example base verb, laugh. Ends in an F sound, right? So the example of the past tense is laughed. Notice the T at the end. The third verb down is fax. When we add the ED, it becomes faxed. Hopefully you can hear that T at the end. Then it's wash. The past tense is washed. Watch. So this is to look at somebody. The past tense is watched. That's a tough one there. So listen again. The example base verb is watch. And the past tense is watched. Hopefully you can hear the T sound at the end there. And the last sound is the k. So the example base verb is like, with the past tense being liked. So once again, it's a T sound and ends in the no extra syllable. So once again, if it's an unvoiced or causes no vibration in the back of your throat, we're talking about the last sound of a verb, then you will produce the T sound. The last way we can make an ED sound is a D sound at the end, or just a D. So in this case, if the base verb ends in a voiced sound, what do we mean by voice? Once again, this is one that causes vibrations in the throat. You can once again put your finger up to your voice box or in your throat, and if you make the sounds, so any vowel sound will do this. So let's go through it. A, E, I, O, So hopefully you'll hear the vibration there on your finger there. There are also some consonants that will also cause vibration. Let's look at some of the examples I have here written under the other sounds. A b, b, a b sound, g, 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 l, o, m, n, n, r, v, v, z, z. Notice all of these will vibrate in your throat here. So let's take a look at the example base verb of play. In the past tense, this becomes played. So in this case, the final syllable, or the final sound is a D sound. This does not add an extra syllable. Let's look at the next example base verb, allow. Let's look at the past tense, allowed. Allowed. So that's a D sound, no extra syllable once again. And the other example base verb is beg. Let's look at the past tense, begged. Begged. Notice it's a D sound at the end and no extra syllable. So these are the three sounds, id, t, or D that can be made. Now it's your turn to practice. As they can say, you might have heard this expression, practice makes perfect. So here's what I want you to do. Take a moment to look over the following verbs. Hit pause on your screen right now on your YouTube video. Determine whether the ending sound is id, t, or d when you convert the word to the past tense. So you might refer to the following tables. When you are done, please continue, and I will go over those. So let's take a look at the words. I'll pronounce them now. Sneeze, cough, wash, quarantine, isolate, cover, distance, shop, establish, empty, miss, pray, need, clean, taste, kiss, stay, watch, separate, advise, and stop. Let's go over these. The first word I gave you was sneeze, so feel the end word. The ending sound is z, sneeze. So if you remember, put your finger up to your throat, and that is a voiced sound. It causes vibration there. So that means that the ending sound should be a D. The next verb is cough. Cough. So notice the last sound is an F sound. Is there a vibration in your throat? No. So the past tense of coughed is pronounced with a T. The third verb is wash. Ends in a sh sound. You can feel your throat. Does that vibrate? Shh. Washed. Washed. Here's the T at the end, so that takes a T sound. The next word is quarantine. Quarantine. The end sound is the last verb or last sound. So does the end vibrate in your throat? Yes, it does. So that means it takes a D sound. Quarantined. The next word is isolate. Isolate. Ends in the T sound. Remember, this is your exception, right? So the past tense is isolated. Isolated. So it ends in the T. That, remember, means that your pronunciation is the id ending or the id ending. And remember, this adds an extra syllable. The next word is cover. Past tense, covered. So the last sound is the R. Causes a vibration, leading to the pronunciation of a D. The next word is distance. Distance. So if you look at the past tense, distanced, since the last sound is s, no vibration, right? You should not feel a vibration in your throat. That takes a T sound. The next word is shop. The past tense is shopped. Notice the T sound at the end as the P is not vibrating. Shopped. The next word is establish. The ending sound being sh. Notice that there's no vibration. So the past tense is established. No vibration. Takes a T sound. The next word is empty, with the past tense being emptied. Emptied. Notice it's a vowel sound at the end. Emptied with a vibration. So then it takes a D sound. The last word on this page is miss. Miss. So listen to the past tense. Missed. Missed. Since it ends in a sound, not vibrating, takes a T sound at the end. Let's take a look at the next few words. The first word on this table is pray. Pray. The vowel sound A is at the end. A causes a vibration. So the past tense of that is prayed, leading to the D sound. The next word is need. Need. And remember, D is one of your exceptions, a D or a T sound. So the past tense is needed. Notice the id ending here and the addition of an extra syllable. The next word is clean. Clean. The N is the ending sound here. So here it takes a D sound, cleaned. The next word is taste. Taste. What's the ending sound there? Yes, it's a T sound, taste, which means that the past tense is tasted. Since it ends in a T, this is one of the exceptions. You add the syllable and it becomes an id ending. The next word is kiss. Kiss. With the sound at the end. Feel your throat. Does it cause a vibration? No, it doesn't. So the past tense is kissed. So that takes a T sound. The next word is stay. Stay. This is once again your vowel sound at the end, A, which causes a vibration in your throat. Past tense is stayed. And notice that the pronunciation is a D at the end. The next word is watch. Watch. The ch sound at the end. So if you feel your throat, do you feel a vibration there? Ch. No, you should not. So the past tense is watched. Watched. So it ends in a T sound. The next word is separate. Separate. What's the last sound here? Is a T sound. T. So the past tense becomes separated. Separated. Since it's a T sound, it adds an extra syllable. And the ending sound is id. The next word might be a little harder for you. Advise. Advise. Notice even though it's an S, that S is taking a Z sound. So if you listen to the Z sound and feel your throat, zzz, you should feel a vibration telling you that the past tense is advised. Advised. With that D at the end, or that pronunciation. And the last word we have is stop. Stop. So that's a P at the end, which is a voiceless sound. And that's why the past tense is stopped. Stopped with the T sound.